She said a group of men demanded they, quote, get the blank on the ground. This is not a game, not a joke. We want all y'all blank. Don't look up at me. She said, I was scared. I'd never been robbed before. I didn't know the procedures, so I complied.
Why did you shoot the victims?
Because one of the victims, the lady that survived, she kept coming back and forth from where she was, making fun of Godinez and myself.
See this handgun that's 80? Is that in fact the handgun that you used to shoot 4 individuals on August 4th, 2007?
Yes.
What part of the body did you shoot Deshaun Harvey to kill him?
Back of the head.
In the back of the head? How was Mr. Harvey positioned when you shot him in the back of the head?
He was on his knees facing the wall.
So he was on his knees facing a wall, and you were behind him?
Yes.
I mean, prior to you shooting them, did they say anything to anybody? You said they're on their knees. They're on their knees facing a wall. What were they saying just before they were shot?
They were telling me to stop.
Were they pleading?
In August 2007, 3 college students who were hanging out in the schoolyard were brutally attacked and shot to death by 6 MS13 gang members. Another young woman managed to survive despite her terrible injuries, which have left her with facial paralysis to this day. The 2 women were raped and hacked with machetes. One man, Melvin Jovel, confessed to being the only shooter, and he was sentenced to life in prison. Of the 6 young men who authorities say set upon a group of college friends behind a Newark schoolyard, fatally shooting 3 execution style and leaving the 4th badly hurt, only one pulled the trigger. The admitted gunman, Melvin Jovel, 21, was sentenced to 3 consecutive life terms, plus 20 years in prison. Jovel had pleaded guilty to 3 counts of murder, 1 count of attempted murder, and weapons charges in the August 4th, 2007 attack behind Mount Vernon School. Jovel said he alone shot in the head Terrence Aeriel, Iofemi Hightower, and Deshaun Harvey. Moments later, he walked over to Natasha Aeriel, Terrence's sister, and shot her in the head. Only Natasha Aeriel survived. Jovel, who listened through a Spanish translator, said little except to tell the judge that one of the other co-defendants, Rodolfo Godinez, sentenced to identical counts, had nothing to do with the killings. While noting that by pleading guilty, Jovel spared the victims' families another trial, Judge Ravin said he did not believe that was the defendant's motivation. Ravin said of the defendant, he was the slaughterer. He was the executioner. The brutality of the killings. Hightower and Natasha Aeriel were sexually assaulted and attacked with a machete, shocked the city, and became a rallying cry for community groups and Mayor Cory Booker to end the gun violence that has plagued Newark for years.
I mean, there were things taken, but I really do not believe that this kind of butchery would happen because of the small amount of personal effects that the victims had. And they were there first, I think, just doing what college kids do on a warm summer night, just hanging out, relaxing, laughing, joking around. They didn't go back there intending to stumble upon 4 youths. I think they went back there and did just happen upon these young people. They had alcoholic beverages with them there, and I think that they then somehow decided to unleash this evil upon those children.
The 6 defendants are said to be affiliated with MS13, a violent Central American street gang. Jovel was the second defendant to be convicted in the killing. Raven had sentenced Godinez on the same counts, which under New Jersey law adds up to 245 years in prison. A jury found Godinez guilty on all charges at his trial. The remaining defendants: Jose Carranza, 31, Shahid Baskerville, 18, Gerardo Gomez, 18, and 20-year-old Alexander Alfaro, who was Godinez's half-brother, were tried separately.
Natasha Aeriel's brother, Terrence, and her two friends, Deshaun Harvey and Iofemi Hightower, were killed in August of 2007 here in this Newark schoolyard. Today, cameras weren't allowed inside the courtroom when the brave young woman told the jury what happened.
Natasha Aeriel took the witness stand at 10:13 a.m., marking the first time the now 22-year-old woman was to talk publicly about the night she, her brother, and two friends were shot in the Newark schoolyard in August 2007. It was also the first time that Aeriel was in the same room with the defendant, Rodolfo Godinez, the first of 6 defendants to stand trial for the shootings. The room in Superior Court was quiet as Aeriel gave her name to the judge and took her seat to recount that night. Her mother, seated in the 4th row, looked on, as did 24 family members of the other 2 victims. Aeriel entered the room amid tight security and a packed courtroom. She described the hours leading up to the shooting when she, her brother, and 3 friends were enjoying a leisurely summer day.
Me and TJ was with each other all day. It was me and him for some reason. We went to IHOP. We was at home. We was out and about.
Later that night, on August 4th, Natasha, Terrence Aeriel, 18, and their friends Iofemi Hightower and Deshaun Harvey, both 20, were set upon while hanging out in Mount Vernon School playground.
We was just talking.
Close to 11:30 p.m., her brother Terrence Aeriel, who was 18 at the time and several feet away, sent his sister an urgent text message.
It's time to go. It took me by surprise. He's my younger brother. It felt different. Usually, as a younger brother, you know how to break up a party. It came out of nowhere.
Her text message back to him.
For why?
The 2 Hispanic men who had been drinking beer on the bleachers near Aeriel, her brother, and 2 friends had been met by 4 more males, she said. Terrence Aeriel had noticed them from his perch on the monkey bars.
He was walking back to us. He was walking in a fast pace. He was real serious. He said, "Let's go." Iofemi and Deshaun looked at him sideways, but I said, "Let's go, y'all."
But it was too late. The 6 males surrounded the 4 friends as they were about to get into the car. 2 of the males pulled out guns and ordered the group to the ground.
They circled the car because TJ and Deshaun were on the other side of the car. They said, "Don't hold nothing back because we'll die." When they surrounded us, I seen guns. I seen about 2. We all complied with their orders. I was scared. I never been robbed before. I hoped that they would steal my car and go on their way. I was scared they were going to take my car. I didn't think they were going to go crazy like they did. All I kept saying was, "Jesus, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus." It was probably a little too loud because someone said, "Shut the f*** up." I was scared of being killed. He tried to take my life. I don't even know what to say.
All 4 were shot in the head. Only Natasha Aeriel survived. Natasha Aeriel went on to receive her degree from Delaware State University on May 23, 2010, one day prior to the conviction of Rodolfo Godinez, the first of 6 defendants to be charged in the case. She earned a master's degree in social work from Clark Atlanta University in Atlanta in 2016, where she currently resides with her newborn son. On February 11, 2013, the state-operated school district for the city of Newark, New Jersey, agreed to pay $5 million to settle an Essex County suit over the shooting of the 4 youth at the Mount Vernon School playground. The plaintiffs were Natasha Aeriel, who survived the attack, and the estates of her brother, Terrence Aeriel, then 18, and Iofemi Hightower, and Deshaun Harvey, then both 20.
The bloodthirsty cartel known as MS13. MS13.
Tonight I am calling on Congress to finally close the deadly loopholes that have allowed MS13 and other criminal gangs to break into our country.
In 2007, Newark City officials downplayed the immigration and gang connections in the brutal execution-style slayings of 3 New Jersey students. Terrence Aeriel, 18, Deshaun Harvey, 20, and Iofemi Hightower, 20, were lined up against a schoolyard wall and shot in the back of the head. A 4th victim, Natasha Aeriel, survived after being sexually assaulted and shot in the face. State prosecutors now say the following. Certainly there was a strong gang component underlying each of these crimes. The gang cited is the violent and rapidly expanding MS-13, a gang made up largely of illegal aliens. At least one of those indicted, Jose La Chira Carranza, has been confirmed to be an illegal alien. At the time of the killings, he was out on bail stemming from earlier charges of assault and child rape. His suspected involvement in the schoolyard slayings prompted the New Jersey Attorney General to overhaul bail policies for illegal aliens. Other states should follow New Jersey's lead and rethink illegal alien bail policies before brutal killings like these take place in their jurisdictions. It's important to think about the way MS-13 operates. The eldest members call the shots and direct the younger members of the gang to conduct much of the criminal activity. Carranza was the eldest of the suspects and very likely the leader in this crime. While it's just speculation, odds are that had Carranza been deported, the schoolyard slayings might never have taken place. State involvement in the crackdown on illegal immigration is important for schoolyard safety generally. MS-13 is known to commit brutal violence for the purposes of threatening youths to join their ranks, and schoolyards are MS-13's primary recruitment locales. State officials nationwide have a choice to make. They can reduce gang crime by assisting federal immigration agencies with enforcement measures, or they can turn their backs on immigration law enforcement and make their state a haven for illegal alien-based gangs like MS-13.